As I'm sure you're all aware by now, on Wednesday, after over 80 days of silence, we finally got new gameplay footage of Starfield, as well as an official confirmation and announcement of the game's release date, September 6th, 2023, and an announcement of Starfield Direct, the up-and-coming Starfield showcase coming on June 11th. I am hyped, which I'm sure you can probably tell, but today we're gonna do a little calm video of just breaking down the new news, the new information, gameplay, and what the next 6 months up until Starfield's release will look like. So without any further hesitation, let's just dive straight into it. We start this new Starfield video by opening up with a giant spaceship just sort of flying through space. I think that this is definitely interesting because this is easily the largest spaceship that we have ever seen in any Starfield footage as of right now. So maybe Bethesda are trying to hint something here that maybe we can actually have giant ships like this. It definitely does make me curious though, especially when it comes to exploration. Can we dock our smaller ships onto other giant ships such as this one and explore it inside like it's an entire building? We didn't really see the inside of any spaceships in the last showcase or in any of the Starfield footage that we have so far, so I'm very curious about what exploring the insides of ships will be like. We can then skip over to this shot of this space station, which is actually the first space station that we ever saw in any Starfield footage. This was the space station in Starfield's very first teaser reveal. This made me hyped. It really brought back all of the memories I had in those years where we really didn't know anything about Starfield. Well, this space station clearly plays a big part in Starfield's overall story. I think that's obvious because again, it's the first thing we ever saw from the game itself. We also know that this station is called the Eye, and it is owned by none other than Constellation, Starfield's main faction. We can then actually see that we are docking onto the station here. If we freeze the shot right now, we can see that this will likely open up, sort of like a vault door from Fallout, or at least that's how I imagine it. And then we will walk into these glass tubes to get into the station. At least that's what it looks like to me. Of course, I could always be wrong. Imagine standing in these glass tubes and looking out into the galaxy, seeing other moons and planets. It's the small things like that that really make me hyped to play this game. We then see this incredible in-game footage shot of the interior of the Eye, and it just looks beautiful. This glass roof we can actually see from the outside of the space station here. There's not really much else to point out in this shot besides a bunch of command controls and obviously the NPC in the center here. Now, I have seen a few people say that this guy may be the guy talking, and to a lot of people he sounds Russian. I find it kind of difficult to make out, like I can't really hear an accent here, so take it how you will, but here is the clip either way.
The Eye is showing signs over another one of those big anomalies.
We then get to a scene that those artifacts yet again appear in. These things are clearly the biggest plot points in the story, but I mean, we already knew that. They will answer life's greatest mysteries. Now what's weird is that this cinematic shot looks very much like this shot in the original showcase. However, these two structures are clearly on different planets, so maybe this planet is the one that we go to after we touch the artifacts in this shot? I honestly don't know, but it's fun to think about. As of right now, we still really know nothing about the game's overall story. We then pretty much can just skip over to Todd Howard, where he says a lot of interesting things. I think the most important thing here is that he's basically just surprised at how much they've managed to pour into Starfield. Basically just reconfirming that yeah, this is going to be Bethesda's biggest game yet, and what I love about this is that Todd sounds genuinely excited, and it's so great to see.
We are so excited to finally tell you when Starfield is coming out this year. You know, we have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised how much we can pour. It is large.
Todd does then confirm that Starfield's next showcase, called Starfield Direct, will take us into Bethesda Studio, where they will really dive deep into Starfield and show us a ton of the game. What I really want to break down is this awesome background footage though. First and foremost, this looks like 60 FPS, and these guys are playing on an Xbox right now. At least it very much looks like it because they're sitting on a sofa/couch. I've been telling everybody for like a year that Starfield will be 60 FPS, both Skyrim and Fallout 4 are 60 FPS on consoles, so there was never any reason that Starfield wouldn't be. I do think that it's great that we can pretty much confirm this now and finally put that argument to bed. But besides that, we can also see a companion in this shot too. We can see that we've just left the ship and this guy is sprinting after us, so they are likely a companion. Unfortunately, we do not get much news or see them besides this, but fingers crossed we get more on companions soon. This definitely does look like Mars to me, and we can confirm that it is Mars, but we will get to that in a minute. We obviously see our character running around, and the running animations look fantastic, at least in my opinion, much more realistic than those of Skyrim and Fallout 4. I do wonder if our running animation changes depending on our walk style we choose, since we know that we can also choose a walk style for our characters in Starfield. Very quickly going back to our spaceships, we can briefly see a little icon here, which is great. This way we'll never lose our ships if we wander off too far. We next see a weapon here that we haven't actually seen before, and if we start playing this clip, we can actually see that our companion's shadow is right here, again confirming that someone is following us, probably a companion. We then do finally get to see some cool combat, and we get to see our character using the jetpack here to kind of dodge and move around, which looks great. We can then confirm that yeah, this is actually Mars. This footage is likely right near the start of the story, since Will Shen has confirmed that we will go to Mars fairly early on in the game's main quest. We actually next see two new pistols, this one right here, just a very quick reveal, but on another monitor we can actually see a revolver here, so revolver's confirmed. This is the first revolver that we have seen in any Starfield footage. But the overall shot, we can see these weird windmill things, which we actually saw in the last showcase at our outpost, so maybe this is an outpost we've discovered, or maybe it's one of our own. Now this next shot has actually become my favourite shot of any planet that we have seen so far besides the ones with cities. This just looks gorgeous, and I think it really proves that the procedural generation has worked very well in Starfield. And very quickly in this next shot we can see some new creatures. These obviously look really cool and great. I love how giant they are compared to us. And in this next bit we get to see a bunch of new armors and spacesuits. This is actually the helmet section of our inventory. The first suit we see is this pilot space helmet. This looks kind of goofy to me, but also kind of cool, I guess. We then see a space trucker helmet, which looks cool, but now I really want to know what the hell a space trucker is. Maybe it's what they call cargo ship pilots in Starfield, who knows. We then see a shock troop space helmet here. Shock troop, like just that name gives me stormtrooper vibes. We also may have some confirmation on some smaller factions here as well, such as the Trucker Alliance, the Ground Crew, etc. And of course we can clearly see damage resistance section up here. Also up here we can see other benefits and negatives to each helmet, such as physical damage resistance and energy damage resistance and EM, I think that says, whatever that is. I also want to point out that we can hide our helmet. So obviously this is a really cool feature. I'm very happy that they're including this. I think that this is something that should have been in Fallout and Elder Scrolls games for a long time. We then see footage of us fighting this giant creature called the Hunting something. I can't really make out what it is or what it says, but this thing looks horrifying. I love it. But that is pretty much everything I can find, guys. We are going to talk about the new delay on Monday, and soon I will make a video talking about what the next 6 months of Starfield will look like. But this footage just got me even more excited than I already was. I'm very, very happy that we're finally in the 6-month hype window, which again, we will talk about more at some point soon. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop it a like. It really does help me out more than you can imagine. If you are new around here and you're looking for a place to stay up to date on Starfield news, leaks, discussions, speculation, and plenty of other Starfield focused content, please do consider subscribing because I cover it all over here. We're also really hoping to hit 5,000 subscribers sometime soon, so if you do subscribe and help us further into that goal, I thank you so much. But anyway, with all of that said and done, that will do it for me, so thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I really hope to see you in the next one.